So hi, Lyosin again. So in this video, I'll be showing you how I do the singing sound effect in a quiet place with filter, air chorus, and air non-linear reverb. So I already imported the audio track in a timeline and also already had the input and output setting done. So I will just jump straight into the effect and filter. But before that, I will show you how to change the mono audio into stereo. So all you have to do is just you go to track and then add a new track in stereo. After that, you just have to drag the two mono audio into the stereo layer. And then here you go. And now I will show you how the before audio sounds like.
So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye wherever we're standing.
Okay, so now let's start with the first filter, Air Chorus. Air Chorus is a plugin that lets us apply a short modulated delay to give depth and space to our audio track. So in Air Chorus, you can see there are rate, depth, feedback, pre-delay, and so on. So I will just slightly define what those buttons are about. So in the first column, you can see the rate and depth. So the rate and depth is used to apply modulations to our audio track. And the rate is basically used to adjust the modulation speed to match the tempo of our audio track. So for the rate, I would set it to 1.00. And with the depth, we can adjust the depth of the LFO modulations, and by increasing it, it can make the chorus effect more audible. So if we want a faster modulations, we can increase the rate, but if we want a slower one, then we can decrease the rate and also increase the depth. So for this one, I will increase my depth to 12 point something. So move on to the second column. Second column, we can see feedback and pre-delay. So feedback sets the feedback amount and pre-delay delays the chorus signal in milliseconds. So for the feedback, I will set it to 62%, and for the pre-delay, I will set it quite low, around 0.96. I mean, we can just play with the button because we don't have to afraid that we overdo it, or if we overdo any of this control, we can actually lower the mix so it doesn't become so apparent. And move on to the left and right phase. Left and right phase sets the relative phase of the other force modulations in the left and right channel. So if we want a mono signal, then lower it to 0. But if we want to offset the right and left relationship to make it sound more to stereo, then increase it. For the waveform, you can see a sine. I don't know if I read it correctly. You can see sine and triangle, and sine modulates the sound in a more gradual manner than triangle, so I will set it to sine. And lastly, the mix. So the mix is used to adjust the dry unprocessed signal with the wet processed signal. So if we increase it to the maximum, which is 100%, we will be listening to just the processed signal. The higher percent you set, the more the processed signal we will hear. So for this sound effect, I will set the mix to 36% because I don't want it to sound so unnatural. Because personally think that if we set the higher mix, the sound is slightly sounds like a robot. It's so unnatural, so I will set it to 36, which I think is very suitable for my sound effect. That's all for air chorus filter. So next we'll talk about air non-linear reverb. So air non-linear reverb is a plugin that used to apply special gated or reverse reverb effect to the audio track, creating a synthetic process ambience. So for this filter is basically have more buttons compared to air chorus. So in the first column there has pre-delay and dry delay. Pre-delay is used to control and determines the amount of time that elapses between the original audio events and the onset of the reverberations. And second, the dry delay. Dry delay is control applies a specified amount of delay to the dry portions of the signal, which can create a reverse reverb effect where the reverb tail is heard before the dry signal. So in order to make it sound like a few person is singing, so you have to apply a quite high amount of delay, but not to overdo it as well. So I will set 61 for pre-delay and 65 for dry delay. Next, there is reverb sections. So reverb sections, there is diffusions and width. Diffusions is used to change the rate at which the sound density of the reverb tail increases over time. Higher diffusion setting create a smoother reverberated sound, and lower setting result in a more fluttery echo. And the width is used to widen or narrow the effect stereo feel. So for the diffusions, I will set it in 63, and for the width, I will set it to 50%, which is in the middle range, because I don't want the environment to sound like it's too widened or too narrow, so I choose to set it in 50%. And next there is EQ section controls. The EQ sections provide tonal controls over the reverb signal, which there is low cut and high cut. So the low cut controls let you adjust the frequency for the low cut filter. So if you want, your audio track to have less bass, you have to raise the frequency. And for the high cut, it is opposite of the low cut. It lets you adjust the frequency for the high cut filter. For this one, if you want the audio track to have less tremble, you have to lower the frequency. So for this one, I will set 103 for low cut and 20 for high cut. However, I think the middle sections, which is diffusion with low cut and high cut, has minor effect to the audio track. So I just play with the buttons until the sound seems right to me. So the last sections, there is reverb time and mix. So the reverb time, it helped to adjust the reverb time to change the length of the reverberations decay. If you don't want the echo sounds to be too over, then decrease it. So for my sound effect, I set it to 250, which is kind of in the middle, not too over or not too less. And lastly, mix. Mix is to adjust the dry unprocessed signal with the wet processed signal. So for this one, if you set it to the maximum, which is 100%, we will be just listening to the processed signal. In short, which means the higher percent you set, the more the processed signal we will hear. So in order to not let the audio sound too robotic, I will set it to 36, which sound just right to me. So yeah, that's all for me. So before I end this video officially, I will let you hear the end result of this editing. Thank you for watching.
So I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I'm gonna hold you like I'm saying goodbye. Whenever we're standing,